Hi everyone, my name is Sydney, and when deciding what topic to choose for an infographic, I tried to think of topics that most people would be able to relate to at one point in their lives, and I think that stress was something a majority of people could relate to, especially college students. So, the topic of these two infographics specifically that I compared is the effects of stress on the body and mind. And I also chose this topic because April is Stress Awareness Month. For infographic A, the first thing to catch my eye about this infographic specifically was the animated human body in the middle. With this, it felt like a more serious infographic, one with real detail. This is because the body was labeled by 8 parts, all different colors, and now not only were each of those 8 labeled parts different colors, but they were each labeled with their own photos. I think that this infographics audience was those for individuals at the age of 18 and up, because the words used in the infographic were detailed and complicated, and most would not have been heard of by someone under the age of 18. For an infographic, I think that this one went too far into detail about what specifically happens to a certain part of the body, rather than getting a headache or stress bumps, for example. The writing that went along with each labeled piece was too detailed for an infographic as well. They should have been simpler and to the point. In the middle of the infographic, there is a sentence in a turquoise color, bolded, stating, "Find out what really happens to your body when you're stressed, and how it ultimately affects your cardiovascular health." I think this needed to be bigger, maybe a different font and color as well. This is sort of like a topic sentence, a statement of what the entire infographic was about, and it would have been more useful in another way. For infographic B, the first thing to catch my eye was the 2 animated male figures on the infographic, one sad or weary, the other proud or happy. Above each of those animated figures, there is white bolded statements. The first, above the weary-looking figure, "Stress is a big deal. Can you relate?" Obviously, everyone can easily relate to being stressed. The second, above the proud-looking figure, "Here's how you can lower stress and relax." This is a promising statement, leading you in a direction to help lower stress is appealing to most. Next, the title of the infographic is "A Short, Brainy Tale." I think this shows that the infographic is a short and to-the-point infographic. The male animated figure's name is Max, stated from the infographic, and he is stressed to the max. I thought this was a cute touch. Naming him made it personable and relatable. The infographic also states that Max is a lot like you and me. This infographic is doing a great job to relating to a broad audience, one that connects to anyone who has experienced stress. For the stressed Max, there are 6 arrows pointing to him, each labeled with a fact or statistic regarding stress. Personally, I think that this infographic was easy to relate to and very interesting to see the statistics of each thing being discussed. Under the figure in black bolded letters is, "Max, you need to relax." Next, above the happy figure is in white bolded letters, "Here's how you can lower stress and relax." The infographic not only shows you what stress does, but it also gives you solutions to the problem. This infographic also shows an animated stressed out brain and an animated relaxed brain, which with details gives you about what each entail. Comparing infographic A to B, I think that overall infographic B was more beneficial and relatable. Infographic B was to the point, short, yet not losing any detail from this. It was also more appealing to the eye and to a wider audience than A. The color red was used to identify the stressed parts of the infographic, and blue was used to identify with the relaxed parts. This made the infographic easier to interpret. Infographic B also had more of an organized look than A. It had more space and fonts, and colors were also more appealing. I think that infographic A would have been more beneficial if it were able to appeal to a wider audience because of the specific and detailed language. There was also no statistics in A. It just gave the scientific reasoning of stress. Also, the appeal to the eye could be worked upon along with organization because the steps are out of order and were a bit confusing, and the text was also somewhat hard to read. An infographic should have both of these components, and I thought that it lacked both. In infographic B, the stress part of Max was given multiple statistics proving what information was being provided. In the relaxed part of Max, there were solutions given on how to reduce stress, but no statistics, which would have been a nice touch just as it was in the beginning. Although the infographic did state studies show, a percentage would have gotten the point across a little bit more. While creating my infographic, I used the critical thinking process when analyzing both of the infographics that I chose. While analyzing, I had to think about what appealed to me and what I thought other audiences would think as well. I had to make sure I had no bias while evaluating and putting all of these principles from class into my analyzations. I had to use the creative thinking process when having to sort of combine the two infographics to be the better version of both. I had to take the weaknesses out of both and turn those into strong points, and then take the strong points and add to those. For example, in infographic A, I liked the labeled photos and the descriptions, but I did not like the organization. For infographic B, I liked the organization and appeal of the I in both sections of the infographic, the stressed and relaxed. But the thing I wanted to improve on was adding statistics to not only the stressed half, but the relaxed half. I believe that both of these infographics related to two different audiences as well, and trying to broaden each and widen the audiences was difficult, but it was possible because of the creating process that I used. On my infographic, I added more statistics to the relaxed facts and gave more specifics. I organized better, but I still kept the strong points in each infographic, creating this.